Today I have a conversation with a good friend of mine, Kundan Joshi, who's the CEO of a company called TheAppLabb, a phenomenal company that's been in the software, mobile space. They're doing AI, blockchain, a lot of innovative, interesting things. Kundan came to Canada in 2000, and over this 20-year span, his company has grown tremendously, and he himself has won numerous awards. But I want to know what the inside motivations of Kundan are, and I hope you'll join me for this conversation to find out more about my friend Kundan Joshi. Kundan, it's been fantastic spending this day with you. I know it's been a lot longer with me than maybe you had hoped. I know you're a very busy guy, so I really appreciate this, brother.
No, I've loved it.
One of the things that really inspires me about your story is how you've, you came here in 2000, and as an immigrant here, and being in the college space myself, you came as a student, you graduated from Western, computer science degree. Can you talk about some of the challenges that you faced upon graduation?
Yeah, I mean, I did my first year engineering in India, and my parents migrated here. So the nuances of communicating in North America is I felt I lacked. While I was looking for any sort of job, I was more inclined towards something that's where I'm facing or talking to as many people as possible.
Nice.
Ended up going into a door-to-door sales job, which was an interesting experience by itself. Having doors shut on my face and dogs being thrown at me. Luckily, I'm a dog person, so I ended up befriending most of the dogs that were thrown at me.
Is it a nature or nurture question? Like, do you think that is ingrained in you in terms of your personality, or was it the environment? Because for me, I'm actually naturally a shy person. I like staying in my comfort zone, but I recognize, seeing my father, seeing my mother, like my mom really pushed me on stage, to speak. And had she not done that, I don't think I would be the person I am today, but I was forced into that.
For sure.
Do you, were you inspired by someone? Yeah.
Same. It's more nurture than nature. Naturally, I'm an introvert as well. In high school, I was an introvert. I had one best friend, and that's what I didn't talk to anyone else.
That sounds so like I cannot believe that knowing you now.
It's an interesting story where we had to change classes. I mean, so basically the way it worked in India in high school was from grade 8 to 10, all the top students moved to one class, whereas the rest moved to other classes. So I was like one of those. So I moved into one class, but apart from me and my best friend, everyone else on that class was different. So and at that time, I got bullied for being a bright student who was introvert, who was overweight. So I realized how important it is for me to be social, how important it was for me to create those relationships with people, have a keen interest in other people. So all those things I had to force myself to do it in order to protect myself from being bullied. And as a part of that just became, it's still not my nature. That became a habit for me. So I would say for me, it's not nature, it's nurture.
I was very much interested in your experience at the kiosk, the Rogers kiosk, and I'd love to hear more about that.
For sure. So in a way, interestingly enough, that was a drive for me to put myself in a comfort zone that landed me there.
Oh, really?
So while I was doing really well at door-to-door sales, I didn't like it, to be very honest. I didn't like interrupting people at their home while they were having dinner and whatnot. So I didn't like that part of it while I was doing it well. So I was just going, like, I was at a mall and someone sold me high-speed internet. I was like, I need high-speed internet. There you go. So I'm like, wait a minute, how much commission you make? And he's like, $30. I just made $30 off you. So I'm like, I want that job. Where I was like, I want to meet your manager. I want to find a way. And I was on him.
Awesome.
And he's like, you know what, I like your drive. I'm going to give you his phone number.
Yeah.
So he gave me the phone number. I kept on calling him. He's like, not interested, we have too many
Yeah.
people. And then I told him that, okay, how about this? I'll bring another friend of mine
Yeah.
and we'll make 50 sales for you in half of a shift. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And that convinced him. He's like, okay, you know what? Sure. So one of my buddies was doing well in door-to-door as well. Both of us
Yeah.
went in there and we made 60 sales.
Nice.
30 each or whatever.
Yeah.
And that was it. We came a shift earlier. We observed what the people earlier were doing. And in that summer, I think I made 6 figures in like 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And so it realized when you're providing real value to people, there's no cap on how much you can make. So that just opened doors for me. My name is Kundan Joshi, and I'm the founder and CEO of TheAppLabb.
How great of an organizer are you?
I'm a pretty good organizer.
Yeah.
I'd say. So definitely have a process-minded flow. Cut out everything else that's fluff, that's trash, that's not important in my top 3 things,
Yeah.
and just stay focused. Which is why even my to-do list is always buckets. So I use Kanban board for my to-do list. So let's say if sales is my focus that time,
Yeah.
that's my sales bucket. This is my strategy bucket. This is my finance bucket. This is whatever.
I got to tell you, Kundan, I met my wife playing ping pong.
No way.
Yeah, and so my strategy with that was,
Right.
As we were playing, I wasn't going to let her win.
Right.
Because I wanted a partner in life. I didn't want somebody that I could run over, nor that was going to try to run over me.
Right.
So I would attempt to cheat, and she would call me out on that.
Right.
And I would do net shots, like just off to the side, and she would dive for it. So she was really competitive.
Right.
And I loved that. Like
For sure.
it's
For sure.
we met online, so it was a great way to figure out who she was, because your guard's kind of down,
For sure.
when you're playing a game, right? Oh,
I'm going to use that
good
line,
shot.
by the way, because I'm very competitive in
Yeah.
any sport, and even with my wife and even with my daughter.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that to say why I'm competitive, because she's a partner in life. So thanks for that.
Do you want your daughter to be an engineer or an entrepreneur? If you could choose. Yes, she will choose, but what would you want for her?
Well, I mean, yeah, if I was to choose, I would choose entrepreneur,
Yeah.
or I guess a combination, like I'm engineer and entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I mean, it's about what she feels passionate about.
Right.
Because it's not so much about doing well for yourself by being in charge of your destiny, or having a lifestyle of an entrepreneur. Any field of work you go in, I mean, there'll be challenges, there'll be fun parts and whatnot. When those challenges come in, when those failures kick in, if the people who stand and withstand those failures are the ones who truly feel passionate about what they're doing, they enjoy the process as opposed to being dejected by the rejection or dejected
Right.
by the failure. So if whatever she does, if she enjoys that process
Right.
of putting her efforts and performing and doing her best
Yeah.
in whatever she is doing, that's where she'll be successful.
You have numerous awards for the TheAppLabb and yourself, but hearing these personal points, right, that I don't know how many people know about your Rogers Kiosk experience, but there's a lot of people, highly capable people, that are hearing this podcast or watching this interview or seeing your awards and knowing that they're there and they can come to your reach the kind of heights you did is hugely inspirational. So
And that's and that's a very good point, because that's one of the responsibilities that we need to take, right? I mean, as you mentioned,
meaning like as immigrants,
as us entrepreneurs,
as
right?
entrepreneurs, yeah.
It's as a new immigrant, it's obviously very difficult, very challenging, right? And it lies within people like us to really create good role models
Yeah.
for them to really aspire to do their best, keep doing, keep aspiring to be the best in their journey, to the best versions of themselves, and know that eventually they will get rewarded. It's not
Yeah.
easy. It's a difficult road, but I mean, when I talk to new immigrants, one thing I say is, you have already taken a much more ambitious and risky decision than most people who
Oh,
you're
for
surrounded
sure.
with will ever make.
Yeah.
Of moving into a new country, you already have displayed all characteristics of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So the fact that you've done that, don't stop doing that.
Yeah.
Now that you've taken a massive getting out of your comfort zone move by just completely changing the environment around you, just keep doing that. Keep putting yourself in positions of being out of your comfort zone. Keep exploring the culture. Keep trying to understand how business works. And when you immerse yourself, these opportunities will uncover themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas you truly can become the best version for yourself and be successful.
Well, you're doing fantastic things, Kundan. Brother, it's been a pleasure to spend the day with you here and to get to know you. I mean, you know, we get to know each other on dinners and things like that, but this is a little bit different because I get to dive in perhaps a little more deeper. So I really appreciate you joining us today and sharing your story. And you know, if anybody wants to get connected with you, I assume get on the website TheAppLabb.com.
TheAppLabb with two B's .com. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty open to invitations.
Okay, awesome.
And you can follow the App Lab on Twitter as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, brother. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this wonderful session. I thoroughly enjoyed it.